Here we are in the living room where I have my tin snips and 2 paint cans, and I'm going to show you the rest in just a second. Okay, right here I have a 1-room furnace. The idea is you can burn charcoal in this furnace and heat the room up about 5 degrees. That's all we're looking for. This top part is simply an extension of the burn chamber to let more heat escape out the sides so I can pipe it through a less heat resistant exhaust pipe. Alright, the next chamber is the burn chamber. Inside here you put your charcoal. Now if you look at the bottom here, there's a little hanger here, and the idea is the air flows in here. If anything falls out, it catches here. It's not really hard to take this off. It's all made out of vegetable cans or chili cans, and these are of course paint cans. The bottom part is actually a coffee can. This is simply a base to stand it on. Either I'll use a base or I'm going to hang it, so it's not going to the heat. The idea is all the heat starts here and goes upward and then is radiated out, except for what it needs to perpetuate itself, and also radiated out of the exhaust pipe so that, like I said, it heats your room about 3 to 5 degrees. Okay, now we're going to see it in action. Okay. So we're going to try this furnace idea out. First we're going to take off the extension of the burn chamber, which in the idealized version, or in the finished version, will have a smokestack on it. I'll put this dry wood in here, which is actually, we're going to pretend it's charcoal for the sake of this experiment. I got to make sure that it all stays inside the chamber and that I don't disturb the air intake, which is under here we talked about earlier. I think we're good. I'm going to light it through the bottom, through the stand. Also, when it's charcoal, this will pretty much do the same thing, except you could use a fireplace match to do this. Except I don't have any fireplace matches, so you know, that's how it's rolling. Alright. Setting my dog food bag on fire. I don't know what to call this. Alright, set this up here. The thing we're trying to find out now is, does this mechanism have a draft that's going to work for us when we try to heat our homes? It's not whether or not I can light this. We do have a little bit of smoke in there though, so it looks like a good idea. Alright. Also in the final version, there's going to be a little bit better of a seal between the actual burn chamber and the auxiliary burn chamber, aka pre-exhaust pipe. Now I believe something is definitely smoking in there. Alright, the smoke is continuing. Something's going on there. I'm about to burn my hand off, or the yard. We're all good. We have smoke. Where there's smoke, there is fire.
You could probably lit the smoke.
Think we could light the smoke?
But if you'd have kept that.
Well, I got this. Try this. We're going to try to light the smoke. But sometimes there's like hydrogen or something in there.
Sometimes.
Let's pretend we do have charcoal in here, which we don't. Where do you get the charcoal, right? You don't just buy charcoal every day. So we're going to make our own charcoal and burn in this thing and heat the house. And eventually, we're going to make charcoal and heat the house and burn the charcoal all in the same vessel while heating the house with that one vessel. But this is just a step-by-step process, the poor man's way. Like I said before, these are paint cans and vegetable cans. That's it. Oh, because there's hydrogen that was not being burnt, or some flammable gas that was up here. So when I ignited it with a tiki torch, you saw it go out the bottom. So obviously there's unburnt fuel in there. For some reason we lit it, man. It just went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a couple questions arise. Can you light charcoal in the way that I'm lighting this fuel without smoking up your house? Because if you can't do this without smoking up your house, you don't want to do it in your house. Okay. This is exactly what we want. It's hard to see because it is nighttime.
I don't know whether they're legal.
But if you look at here, there's no flame coming out of the can. There's no flame coming out of this juncture, which we're going to close off anyway, right here. There's no flame under here. So we have started this fire. And I'm putting my hand next to it. It is very warm. It's at least as warm as a space heater, probably warmer. And if you look in the top there, you see some flame, which is pretty analogous to what would be there if there's charcoal burning in there. Charcoal burn a lot cleaner. So now that we have this set up and working in the way that we want it to do, the only question is, can I pipe this exhaust out of the house, get maybe a little bit more heat out of it, and not smoke up the house, which that's the first concern, and do it for cheap, right? Because so far I'm only in this whole project 2 cans of chili, 2 paint cans, and a coffee can. So I mean, really, this is just, and some charcoal, which actually, as you saw, I used a little bit of fuel and white gas. Either white gas, it wasn't really white gas. It's similar to white gas, and this sticks and a little bit of leaves just to get it going. But I mean, if you had charcoal and you lit the charcoal, it'd do the same thing. And so, where do you get the charcoal? To be continued, as well as the exhaust. All right. I don't know if you can tell, but right here, this is the side of the paint can I'm observing. It's red, so I guess that means it's probably pretty damn hot. Obviously, you cannot tell this is actually the paint can, but this is the side of the paint can. So I have 2 questions. One, is the paint can translucent? And actually, independent of this question, I have a question is the paint can about to melt? And both of those are important questions, actually. But actually, the first question is not actually important at all. The important question is the paint can about to melt? Because if it is, my whole cheap furnace idea needs to be looked at a little bit differently. So there you have it.